Knows Best.
Hi, friends, and welcome back to Brenna Knows Best. I'm your host, Brenna Berg. Hi, how are you guys? Happy Friday. As always, don't know what happened last week. The most important thing that happened is that it was LaDonna's birthday, my grandmother, and actually, sadly enough, Thursday, which honestly ruined my whole day, my grandparents went and got the flu shot now 3 weeks ago, I believe. And my grandpa always gets sick from the flu shot and LaDonna doesn't. And you know what's really interesting? Let's talk about the flu shot. I don't think I've ever gotten the flu shot. I know for sure in my adult life I've never gone and gotten it, but I don't know if a kid or as a kid if I did. I obviously got all the vaccinations. I got whatever the doctors told me to. But when flu season came around, being a child is so funny because you go to the doctor. For us, it was once every year for your physical because I had to get a physical to play sports. And that was the only time I went to see Dr. Penguli. And I don't think I ever got a flu shot because that's around this time of year and I never went back. I don't think so. And I don't think my dad gets it. And it's not for any reason other than I think we were just too lazy. And then I moved out of the house and I went to college. And again, it wasn't something that I thought of. And quite frankly, I never am in a place to get a flu shot. I'm not in a healthcare setting ever. I know that when you go to CVS and get a medication, they'll be do you want your flu shot? Because one year I think I needed a prescription. Maybe it was my toothache, not this time, but the last time. And they were do you want to get your flu shot? But I'm not a person who regularly gets medication at all. I think those 2 times that I've had toothaches are the only times I've ever had to go to a pharmacy to get a prescription. That whole vibe is so weird to me because I've never done it. But if you're in a healthcare setting, which I feel a lot of people are, or you're out and about, or you pick up your medication, I know places like that, they offer it. And I guess I'm just not in those areas ever and never have been. And therefore, the flu shot has never come across my desk. But it is so interesting how, my grandpa, for instance, no, he never gets the flu, which is obviously part of probably having the flu shot, but he always gets so sick from the flu shot. Whereas I've never had the flu shot. Okay, I'm going to knock on wood right now, but I've also never gotten the flu. And again, I'm not trying to be conspiratorial at all. I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying it's so interesting. And would the flu take me out? I don't know. I obviously got the COVID vaccine. However, I think I had COVID one time, but I never, and maybe should I be admitting this, but I didn't go anywhere. Well, because here is the thing. I started my real estate job the week of COVID, March 12th. I go into the office Monday, did my training Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday is when everything started shutting down. I didn't move in with my boyfriend at the time, but essentially because he was a professional golfer, therefore he was only going to the golf course and they still went. He still went to the golf course every day, but nobody was there. And I was at home and I didn't travel or do anything. And I never took a test. I never once took a COVID test because I never had to, because I never thought that I had it. The one time that I think I might have had it, it was Thanksgiving. We were supposed to go to North Dakota and my boyfriend at the time got it. And at this point we were living, or he was living in a house with his brother and maybe one other guy, or maybe it was just the two of them, but all of the golfers got it. And therefore I had been exposed and therefore I wasn't going to travel home to North Dakota. My boyfriend at the time had it and I just quarantined with them, but I never took the test because it didn't matter to me if I had it or not. I wasn't going anywhere. Do you know what I mean? I remember we ordered pizza for Thanksgiving. We ordered it to the door because obviously we weren't going anywhere. Anywho, my grandparents got the flu shot a few weeks ago and all of a sudden LaDonna was kind of getting sick, but she never gets sick from the flu shot. However, another thing about my sweet grandmother is that she, number one, has a thyroid disease. She has Graves. And she often, and I don't know if it's due to the grapes, I'm just saying she has like a chronic illness, right? But she also gets stuffed up so often. Allergies, she's like allergic potentially to like certain foods, but she kind of knows, but like she just gets really stuffy. It's like very common for that to happen from scents, from candles, from the pollen. Like she's oftentimes not battling something, but just like, again, stuffed up or whatever. And that was happening. And she's like, oh, it's allergies, you know, the time of the year, whatever. I called her maybe a week or two ago. This had been like a week and a half since she had been feeling these symptoms, and she sounded really not good. And I'm like, oh, like either, you know, the flu, whatever. She was at home. She was like, she just was so low energy. I remember because our phone calls are typically an hour minimum. Our phone calls are from like an hour to 2 hours, typically every time. And it was like 20 minutes. And I was the one leading the conversation, and she just sounded so tired. Like she just wasn't herself. And I'm like, oh, Graham's like, let me let you go. That was that. Well, Thursday, I filmed the pod, and then I think I had the car that day. I was in Nordstrom Rack. I was walking in because I was like looking for something, God knows. And I had texted her and asked her how she was feeling. And she said that morning she went into the doctor's and she had pneumonia. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like pneumonia is really bad. And especially for older people, especially for people with chronic illness, it's like anything. It's like COVID, it's like the flu. Like when somebody is old or has already immune system issues, it's bad. And that just like immediately I'm like crying. I'm like, oh my God, like, are you okay? Like, of course she should have went in sooner, but it's like, she's always I don't fault her, and I get why she didn't, but they gave her a shot and then she has like some oxygen. And of course, like the rest of the day, I'm just like, feel like I could cry at like anything. This is like, you know, one of the most important people in my life. And her birthday is Monday, this past Monday. I call her. So obviously I'm like checking in over the weekend. I'm like, how are you doing? And then Monday I call her and she sounded better. And she's obviously still sick, but my grandpa got her some Nefla soup. I'm not sure if we talked about Nefla soup on this podcast before. You either know Nefla soup or you don't. My husband didn't know what Nefla soup was until I took him to North Dakota. It is easily, without a shadow of a doubt, the best soup. I'm pretty sure we've talked about this. I think it's German. My whole family and essentially all of North Dakota. Wait, how German is North Dakota? I bet there's like a percentage if I had, 34%? What else are we? Because I feel like everybody I know is like at least part German. My mom is full. Like my mom's parents, our last name is Freund. Freund. Well, not ours. My mom's maiden name, which means friend, I believe, in German. They're very German. Anyways, there's a lot of, and that's why Nefla soup, Fleischkegel, there's a lot of dishes that everybody in North Dakota knows because somebody comes from goddamn Germany. Well, Nefla soup is essentially just a soup, but these little Neflas, I think what the Nefla is are these like little dough balls. Oh, it makes me want it so badly. And everybody has a recipe. My mom has a recipe, my grandma. I took my husband to Kroll's Diner, which is like this mon pa like diner. There's a few of them in North Dakota, but they have like bomb Nefla soup, and you can actually get it by the pail. You can just like buy Nefla soup and it's like an ice cream pail and take it home. But my grandpa, I'm not sure. I don't think he got it from Kroll, she said. He got it from somewhere else. Delicious. And she said it tasted good. And she's slowly feeling better. I need to text her. But it was her birthday on Monday. I love and miss her dearly. Over the weekend, I went to the Stivali event. Stivali, New York is a brand, and the owners or founders, it's a couple, they're based out of Colombia, and they make handcrafted leather boots and then sandals. You may have saw on my vlog, I got these like Mary Jane heels. And if you don't know what a Mary Jane is, because until about a month ago, I didn't know what a Mary Jane was, to be completely honest. It's a flat. It's like those flats that look like a ballet slipper and then they just have like the strap over them. I'm pretty sure that's like what a Mary Jane is. So the shoes that I got are a cream Mary Jane, but with the heel. So they have like a chunky heel, but then it has two straps. It's just kind of like a unique touch. They gave us, of course, because I'm a content creator and we just like get handed out free shit all the time, a gift card. And their boots are phenomenal. Like, honestly, if I buy or when I buy a pair of cowboy boots again, which I don't know when I'll need one, but if I do, I'm getting them from there. They are so gorgeous. They had this knee high, and I keep thinking about them. And honestly, I don't know why I didn't use the gift card, because I wasn't going in wanting to spend a lot of money. And this is me and gift cards in general, if I have a gift card, I'm like typically trying to spend like what the gift card is exactly. That way I don't have to go over if I'm not in the mood to shop, which is always, because their cowboy boots, most of them were like $300. And I'm not sure, again, I don't ever want to like fuck up my life and my business, but the gift card was roughly anywhere from, it was a significant amount, but if I bought a 300 pair of boots, I would be paying more than what the gift card was. Let me just like leave it at that. I just was not like, I have a red pair of cowboy boots. I have like my cowboy boots from like way back home for forever. And I actually had in the mail the Staud knee-high black boots coming for the Shop Bop event that were also gifted to wear to the event. And I'm like, I don't need, like, now I have these black high, knee-high, cowboy-ish boots. They're like way more chic than they are cowboy, but you know what I'm saying? And, but they had so many. They actually had these like black little... but they were also $300. They were like ankle length, but they were more of like a classy black boot. They had like the Western chunky bottom, but they were so good. I tried them on. I ended up with the Mary Janes. Oh, and that's another thing with a gift card, especially for something like this. I'm like, what's something I wouldn't normally get? And similar to when I have giftings for being a content creator with clothes, I'm like, okay, if there's something I really love, I'm going to get that. But if I'm up in the air and I only have a certain amount, I'm like, what's something I wouldn't buy? That way I can try it. And if I don't love them or like I don't end up wearing or using it, it's okay because it was gifted, right? It's either if I'm obsessed with something and like I will wear it 100 times, I'll get that. Or if not, and I'm kind of in the middle, I'm like, let's do something fun and different, right? Anywho, the store was gorgina. It's like so pretty. And so this isn't a pop-up. It's like a store that's now opening in Dallas. So they started in New York. They have one location there and now they're opening here. And I'm like, this is the perfect location. They told me, I met the founders, that they were between here and LA, which of course I'm sure LA would do well too. But I'm like, here in Texas, like the, obviously cowboy boot culture, but like the football and like everybody wears boots. It's perfect. Similar to the Shop Bop event that I went to. Was that last night? No, it was 2 nights ago. It was on Tuesday. Now this is a pop-up. And again, if you don't know what Shop Bop is owned by Amazon, which isn't super relevant. However, Shop Bop is like Nordstrom or Revolve, I would say. They just house a bunch of nice brands. They have obviously Staud, they have like super nice, but I think they also have like the mid-tier like brands. I don't know. They might have Nike, like you would have to go look, but it's like a Nordstrom and a Revolve, in my opinion, is how I would frame it. Do they have a regular location? Does Shop Bop have stores? Or do they just do online? No, Shop Bop does not have permanent brick and mortar stores, as it is primarily an online retailer. However, they have opened a temporary pop-up in Dallas. Google. Now, I don't really use ChatGPT, honestly, often at all. I recommended it last week on the episode for something, and I'm like, that's so funny that I said that. It's only very peculiar things when I need like real help with something, but I'm not like a ChatGPTer. However, I think Google uses it and you can find like way better answers. For example, way back in the day, something that would happen, I remember I would be at LaDonna and Gordy's house, and let's say we're watching like a TV show or a sporting event. Typically it would be a sporting event, and we're like, how old is Kevin Garnett? Well, Brandon and I, because LaDonna and Gordy are just not tech people, we would like pull up Google and we would type in like, when was Kevin Garnett born? And then we could deduce how old they were. Well, I watched last weekend the Victoria Beckham series, like I was telling you, And I was able to, and this is like, this is so stupid and so small, but I'm like, I know that if I Google how old is Victoria Beckham right now, it would be able to tell me because it could deduce, right, the chat GPT of it all. Because way back in the day, I don't think you could do that. I don't think it would ever like do that for you. Or you could say like, how old is Kevin Garnett? And it would be like, Kevin Garnett was born in 1980 or like whatever. And then you would do the math. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure it could probably do the math. And it did. I said, how old is Victoria Beckham? And it was like, she was born here, but that means she is 45 or whatever it was, which is amazing. Anyways, just like that, I just typed into Google, does Shopbop have stores? And now it says, however, they have opened a temporary pop-up shop in Dallas from the 22nd to the 30th, which is accurate. But like Google would have never done that before. That's like the new AI. That's so interesting. But that answers my question. They don't have brick and mortar stores, but they just are an online and they do these like little pop-ups. But if you don't know what Shopbop is, it opened yesterday, but the kickoff event was Tuesday. And it was at a bar called the Rodeo Bar, which was honestly perfect because, of course, it was like Texas. Obviously, the theme was Western chic, right? It was great. I bopped in. I said hello. I always like go up to people and I'm like, hi. Like, I understand that it's like the comfortable thing to do. And I think they offered plus ones. Like if you just wanted to bring a friend, like that was a thing. I think my manager told me or like sent extra details the day of. And it was like, if you want to bring somebody, which I just don't really do that. However, some people are so friendly. I feel like that's kind of just how it is with any social setting. Like people are either very social or like very not. But I got to meet all the Shopbop girls, and I actually have an event this coming Monday with them / Varley, which is an athletic wear brand. I mean, athletic wear would be a stretch in my opinion. It's like an upscale loungewear. It's like a not designer, but like kind of. It's like expensive-ish stuff. They sent an outfit for me to wear, again, because this typically happens because they take photos and all of the things. A knit little sweater vest and then like athletic-ish shorts, but they're like nice. Like you wouldn't wear them to a workout. You would wear them to like the airport. Does that make sense? I feel like you would just call it loungewear. Anywho, it's at this place that I've been before and it says pottery. It says that we're doing pottery, which is so interesting. And I asked the girl that I met who was phenomenal at the Shopbop event. I was like, are we going to be doing like actual pottery, like with the things where you like mold the clay? And she was like, we have a team, you know, she's on the marketing team, but she's like, somebody does like the events. I have no idea. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. But I had that event on Tuesday. I got a little, and honestly, it was so bad, but I got a mocktail Aperol Spritz. I asked for their mocktails, which I'm sure I could just like have gotten a Diet Coke, and I don't know why I didn't do that. But they said a margarita or an Aperol Spritz, and I just knew I didn't want a margarita because I'm not a margarita gal. And the reason I'm not a margarita gal is because I've never liked tequila. Tequila is just not my cup of tea. I obviously understand a mocktail wouldn't have that, but it just kind of like, are you going to put a non-alcoholic tequila? Like that's just not appealing. Therefore, I just picked the Aperol Spritz and that shit was nasty as well, but I digress. I walked around. I said hello. Oh, I met, which do you guys care? Kate Davis, and you probably don't know. There's so many like different niches, but Kate Davis is a Dallas creator. And she's the Western queen because her husband is the professional bull rider. The professional bull rider. He is a professional bull rider and he was there with her. But I just stopped her really quickly because we have the same management team. And I was like, Kate, hi. Like I'm Brenna, blah, 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 blah. Anywho, I went into the bathroom and then I left. And I thought originally that the event was from 6 to 8. And I think if I would have stayed until 8, my husband could have picked me up because it was downtown and he works downtown, but he was still working. And I grabbed an Uber. Another wonderful thing. This is just kind of like a behind the scenes of these events. They typically, if it's like a bigger-ish brand, or if it's like the Atique Beauty where it's not that many girls, they'll give you Uber vouchers. So they'll just like cover your Ubers. They'll send it to you prior. It just like goes into your Uber account. And then that way the Ubers are on the brand as well, which is obviously phenomenal. Therefore, you're not paying anything for these events. I go home. What else happened over the weekend? Number one, I finally got a shoe rack for our closet. And I had this in the vlog as well. And it's honestly been life-changing. I need to figure out the purse situation. Where do you guys like leave your purses? I only have 2 purses. I only had one prior, the Prada one that I would just fucking throw somewhere. And actually, at our old apartment, I use little command hooks. Like by our door, I had the command hooks and I would keep my belt bag there. And then I actually had a command hook at my vanity, which is where I kept the Prada purse. And because it was only one, it was like, oh yeah, that can just like hang right there and it's always there. And that's my one purse. Well, now I have 2, which isn't a lot. However, I want to get more, and I'm not just going to like, I thought about doing command hooks on the side of my closet, but I'm like, I'm not just going to keep adding these, right? I guess I could. I don't know. Somebody left in a video that there's like these sort of hangers where it's like specifically made to like, you know, have your purse, which is fine, but I feel like my closet is so smushed and then the purses would get smushed, which I don't want to do. I also was thinking about Nanny Mom, and in her closet, she used those dividers from the Container Store where they kind of latch on. Oh, how do I describe this? I can see it. They're acrylic. And picture like a skinny, flat acrylic divider, right? Similar, you could get them in your drawers to like divide up your shirts or your underwear or whatever, but they hook on to a shelf. Like her shelves are similar to mine. Obviously she has way more and they're not as spaced out, but they hook on to the shelf. Oh my gosh, it's like so hard to describe. I don't know why. But then the flat acrylic part is like, it then slides in so it stays upright, and then it like creates this division, and she would just like house all of her purses. So it'd be like divider, 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 divider all along the shelf, and she would just slide in her purses so they were like standing upright. I would love to do that. The only problem is I already have such limited space on those shelves. You know what I mean? Like I already had to get the shoe racks of it all, and maybe I could. Honestly, maybe I should do that. And then as I get purses, I can just get more dividers because that way they stay upright. My other problem with the hanging, because I was also like, yeah, of course you can just hang your purse around like a hanger and just hang it in the where your clothes are. But I really, and I'm so anal for some reason about my strap getting fricked up. Like I don't want my strap to get like mangled or like bent, because if it's like hanging there for a long extended period of time, it can get like fricked up, if you know what I mean. Therefore, I like the idea of the purses just sitting, and that way the strap is just like free hanging and not getting like twisted or bent or folded. You know what I mean? Yeah, honestly, I should do that. I think I'm going to do that. Okay, thank you all for helping me decide that. I also, something we need to talk about, which when I moved to Dallas, I worked at or opened that Pilates studio, and I worked there for a really long time. And this was the first time that I heard what Partners Card is. And if you're in Dallas, you might know. And if you're not in Dallas, this is a Dallas specific thing. And it's honestly really great. You're probably like, what the fuck, Partners Card? There's this thing called the Partners Card event. It happens every single year, once a year, this time. It starts on the 24th, which is what? I think this Friday. And it goes to November 2nd, which is the following Sunday. So for about a week, a little over a week. The Family Place Partners Card, presented by Bank of Texas, supporting survivors with every purchase. It is this card that you buy from the Family Place, which is some sort of obviously charity organization. It's a card you buy. It's $100 or like a little over $100. It is in support of survivors of family violence. Okay, so that's what the money goes to. But basically what happens is you buy this partner's card for $100 and then a shit ton, I'm telling you, every goddamn store in Dallas, which is amazing, partakes in this event from the 24th, this Friday, to November 2nd. You get 20% off all of these stores, which it's not every store, but there's a list of participating retailers. And like, for example, North Park Mall is like our bougie mall. It's the best mall. And the Galleria, they'll have these certain color, I think their colors are purple and red, balloons outside of their stores. And you get 20% off. Like, Aritzia is even a part of it. Williams Sonoma, Anthropologie, like even stores that have nothing to do. Like, it makes sense to me, like the Texas knick-knacky small businesses of it all. But like in North Park Mall, like, let me just pull up. It's so many stores. It's like literally so many stores. And actually, I'm never going to get through all of these because it's like multiple, even like med spas. The Pilates studio that I worked at, which is why I brought it up, we sold the partner's card. A lot of places will sell them. And of course, all of that money goes to the family place, the victims or survivors of family violence. But you get this card and then you get 20% off. And let me now tell you the Brenna Berg financial brain of it all. Of course, if you just want to like get the card and your $100, like it's never going to be for a bad cause. Like even if you just bought the card for $100 and didn't buy a single thing, it's going to a wonderful cause. And therefore, on one hand, I almost just want to get one to get one. It's as if you're donating $100, right? But like the financial brain in me, so obviously you buy the card for $100. To justify it, because you're getting 20% off at all of these stores, you just have to spend, which I will never forget, this like rich fucking Highland Park mom explained this to me when I was freshly, how old was I then? 22. I literally had no money. I was working part-time at the Pilates, part-time at Equinox, walking dogs. I was like working on getting my real estate license at the time. I remember her being like, you just have to spend $500, like minimum $500. And then it like makes sense because obviously 20% of $500 is $100. And therefore, once you go beyond $500, you are saving money. Now, if you just get the partner's card and you spend, okay, you buy the partner's card for $100, but then you only spend $200, therefore you get $40 off, it didn't make sense. Even though, here again, like I want you guys to really understand, like obviously the $100 is going to a good place or like for a good cause. But if you're doing this to save money, but you don't spend more than $500, you spent the $100, but then you're only getting less than that off. It doesn't make sense. I know you guys know what I'm saying. Therefore, if you do plan on spending more than $500, it makes sense because you are saving money then. Because the first $500, it comes out even. You're getting $100 off, but you paid $100 for the partner's card. But then every 20% after that is 20% off that like you wouldn't normally get. And this is something I need to remember in my Dallas brain because it's leading up to the holidays. And if you just have a big purchase, like let's say you need to get furniture, this is the perfect time to do it because furniture is obviously so fucking expensive. So like if you're going to be spending like $1,000, even if it's one thing, like if you want to get a couch and you know that that store is a part of the partner's card event, wait until this event and do all of your shopping because then you're getting 20% off that you wouldn't have normally gotten off. Does that make sense? And I'm trying to think like, is there something like $500 is a lot of money, but like, could I do my holiday shopping? Should I get a coffee machine? Like, it's money I wasn't planning on spending because I forgot about this event, but I need to do better because it's like, I could save a lot of money, right? Wait, let me bring it back really quickly to the Pilates studio. So this mom was like, yeah, like she was talking to me like as if I had $500 to spend, as if I'd ever even spent $500 in my life in like a year. She was like, oh my gosh, like, you only have to spend $500 to make it worth it. I said, what the fuck? Like, at that given moment, I was like, I couldn't even like think of like, number one, I just like straight up could not even spend $100 at that point. Of course I could, but like without going into credit card debt or like, it's just not who I am. And I just remember looking at her and being like, oh my gosh, she has such a good deal. What? So I understand how crazy this sounds, but like, here's the thing that I've been thinking about as of 2 days ago: coffee machine. Because I looked and Williams Sonoma is on it. And I think Crate and Barrel, because they have like Breville's, they have like a ton of different coffee machines. This would be a good time because like, and I know what you're thinking, but a nice espresso coffee machine can be up there. And excuse me. I do, and I like have wanted a nice coffee machine, and my Nespresso hasn't been working, which, what is comical? I literally just opened TikTok like while I gave my camera a little rest because she overheats. I posted a video last night, obviously, and people were like, Nespresso, like hook her up with a new machine, which is like so kind of you guys, don't have to do that, but thank you so much. And like, I fucking have spoken to their, representatives 100 million times. They commented back to one of those comments literally 13 minutes ago. Our machines are covered under at least a 1-year warranty with replacement or repair options, Emily. Call Nespresso at 800 da 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 da. Y'all, they said gift me a machine, which like I'm not expecting that, but that's hilarious. Anywho, I was thinking about a coffee machine, but then I'm like, also, if I am gonna potentially get a coffee machine, then I should just get like Christmas gifts and like what else have I been wanting to buy? Because like if I'm gonna pass the $500 threshold, or even without the coffee machine, is there anything I could buy like right now for the next year or for Christmas? Like I'm thinking for my bougie ass husband, like, can I get him some clothes? Because there's a lot of like his men's clothes that he likes to wear for Christmas. Can I get him that now? I don't know. Oh, I should see if Mizzen and Maine is on there. Yeah, I need to like really actually think about that. I told it, well, and also for him, I was like, he's gone this weekend, but I was like, if there's anything you need, I guess it goes through next weekend. Oh, also, I really want to buy us SMU tickets for next week's football game, which he contacted our friends and asked if they want to go, but they haven't answered. Oh my gosh. Also, and I don't know if I should be speaking about this on the podcast, but I have really something exciting happening tomorrow. 2 of my friends are getting legally married and I get to go. Oh, I'm so excited and I cannot wait. And we're going to get ready together and have a whole day. And that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Wait, let me back this up. I feel like I'm skipping things. Oh, alterations. Oh my goodness, you guys, that denim patchwork dress that I posted the other day that I got at a consignment store, I knew that I needed it altered. It was just like a little bit. And here's the thing. The reason I got it is because number one, I want age appropriate clothes. I need age appropriate clothes. And when it comes to casual dresses, like they need to be obviously with my body. I'm 5'9", and naturally like dresses and skirts always, I think number one, because my legs are so long, I just look, I'm going to say hoochie. And I know that's like not appropriate, or probably, I don't know if it's like a slur. I'm not really sure, but like, I just naturally, I think even when the skirt or dress extends past my butt a decent ways, kind of look like a hoochie because my legs are so long. I don't know, in my opinion. But also, there's like a length of a dress or a skirt that like, if it's too long, you look like a grandmother. There's just a fine line. But I'm 5'9", so naturally things just kind of extend on my body differently than they would a 5'2" girl or a 5'3" girl, whatever. Well, the dress, when I tried it on at the consignment, which if you're in Dallas, I don't know how many Dallas listeners I have. I don't think honestly that many. Clothes Horse Anonymous, they actually have a website. It's like a luxury designer-ish-esque consignment. They have some like really, really designer stuff, and they have purses and handbags and stuff. But then they also have like the Nordstroms, the like mid-tier nice stuff, like Frame. This dress was originally $350 and I got it for $50. And it's like obviously 100% denim. It's patchwork. It's also double-sided. Like they have denim, which the alteration lady told me, but it was baggy in the top and I knew I needed it altered, but I wasn't sure how. Like I wasn't sure if I needed it taken in or I needed the straps taken up or both. Well, the place that I've been getting my alterations is amazing and I love them and it's always the same people and they get things done in roughly about 2 weeks, I'd say is when I get my stuff done. But they are, let me actually look right now and give you an exact, I almost said, I mean, not that it really matters. I think it's like almost 3 miles away. Wait, that's not the right one. Okay, if I were to walk 2.6 miles, which is about a 40-minute walk for me. So there and back, it's like, it just takes a lot out of my day. Like I typically like to go on a 4-mile walk. Like that would be what one walk for me is, 3 to 4, and I might do 2 a day. But to take that amount of time to go there and to come back, it's just far enough. Like obviously when I have the car, it's so close. But if I'm going to walk, it's just like not ideal. Therefore, me and my husband were talking about going to this SMU game. I'm like, oh my God, this dress would be perfect to wear. But I'm like, it typically takes 2 weeks. So this Monday, I'm like, I need to go get it altered, but I didn't have the car. Like it hit me after he had left, right? And I didn't even want the car that day anyways. And it would just be nice to have an alteration place closer. And like, we have a bunch of shops by us. Well, there's one really close, like right up the street, maybe 0.3 miles. And I took Nanny Girl there and I wasn't sure at first, but I was like, oh my gosh, this is the place. It's one lady. The alteration store, it's like a house. Like you literally go up and you knock on the door and she comes out. She's this elderly woman. She's so kind. She speaks English, but she does have like a heavy accent, which I remember because I'm so bad with accents. I'm so bad at like, I don't know why. And like, it makes me feel so stupid. I think because, again, I'm going to blame North Dakota. North Dakota, when I lived there, had literally nothing but just straight up white people. Nobody with accents of any kind. Like I'm telling you, I never came across like a Hispanic person, any ethnicity, like literally anything. And therefore, I just was not like, I'm so bad at like hearing the accents and knowing what they're saying, right? I don't know. And that's the only thing I can think of because my husband, like he grew up in San Diego and obviously was around different cultures and ethnicities. And like, maybe I'm just making an excuse for myself. Maybe I am just stupid, but I've always struggled with that. It's exactly why. Oh, I remember one time and like they never let me live it down. I watched Pink Panther with some friends like a few years ago. I had never seen it. And we started watching it and I left. I like literally left because I could not understand what the man was saying. And what's the one they would always make fun of me for? I thought he said Texas toast. Oh my gosh. But it was like, it wasn't that. It wasn't Texas toast, but like and I'm not that annoying person when movies are playing, but like everything that guy was saying, I kept like looking at them. I'm like, what did he just say? Like, I like literally, I don't know. I just like can't do it. And it was funny at the time, but it got so annoying. And I find this with like, we'll watch shows, me and my husband, and if there's an accent, I'm like, I have like literally no idea what they're saying. Like they're speaking in English, but they're just so heavily accented that I'm just like a fish out of water. I'm so bad at it. And you know what I especially hate? And I was talking to my brother about this because I was explaining to him Beast Games, and he said that it's like, obviously Squid Games is like a show where they kill people, but it's like, you know, the same sort of, they play games and people get killed and eliminated. I never watched Squid Games, and we started talking about it, and I was like, why didn't I? And I was like, I feel like me and my husband started it, even though he had already watched it. And then I quickly remembered that one of my, and this is probably my least favorite thing, shows that are in different languages, and then you have the subtitles or the captions. I can't fucking do it. I just hate it. I just like, especially when they do it, you know, because you can make it so they speak English, right? But like their mouths are saying what their original language was. Like, I don't know what they're speaking in, if they're speaking in Spanish, but then it's being told to you in English when it doesn't match the lips. Oh, it's like too painful for me to even like do. I literally can't do it. And that's exactly why I never watch Squid Games, because like I can't fucking do it. And that's just like a pet peeve of mine, I think. Like that has nothing to do with like the language of it all and not understanding. I just like when they don't sync up, I just hate it. Okay, next. What were we even talking about? How did we get here? The alterations. I go to that woman's little house place and I knock on the door a few times and she comes and she's like, it would take about a month because I think it's only her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not like I need this dress, but I'm like, no, that's okay. I honestly just kind of felt bad, like making her work. She's like this old woman. Obviously she's like choosing to do it, but I'm like, no, it's okay. Let me go over to like, there's like these shops by us. So I'm like, I know I've seen one over there. Well, I walk into this place and it's like this little, I'm not sure what ethnicity, again, I'm like so bad at like, I never even know what ethnicity people are. I hope this doesn't like make me sound bad. I don't know. And maybe I should be more educated. I just like simply, I'm just bad at these kinds of things again, because like I was never around other people that weren't white until obviously I moved to Dallas. And like, that's not an excuse for now, but okay, Brenna, just maybe like keep your mouth shut. It's just, I'm trying to be honest. But she was like this little woman. And the reason it was like so brought to my attention that she was little is she was like, okay, put on the dress. So I put it on. And she came up behind me and I bent my knees so she could reach the straps. And she could have reached, but she just like literally would have had to have her hands up high. And she's like, stand straight. And she didn't like yell at me. She's like, no, stand up. She's like, because if it punches, it's not going to sit right. But I'm like, oh my gosh, like your arms, like you're having to extend them the whole way. And she was so kind. And she was like, yeah, because I had to ask her, like, do you think I'm gonna have to get the sides taken in? She's like, no, I think if we just bring up the straps, that will fix just the looseness. And like, you want it to be a little loose because you want to be able to get it on, even though it has a zipper. And she's like, I think the straps will fix it. And if you think otherwise, like we can still alter it after. And I was like, amazing, like, thank you. And she was just so kind. And we were the only two in there. I don't know. She must be the owner, if I had to guess. I went on to look at reviews after the fact because I was like, oh, she was so fresh. She's like, perfect. I took it off. We settle, like I set it on the counter and she's like, okay. So she gathered that the strap, like, it's double-sided denim. So one of the, obviously it's sewn together, the straps. Well, one of them is like open and then they slid the other one in it. Does that make sense? So like one strap is kind of slid into the other denim strap and then it's sewn shut. She's like, I'm not sure once I open it up, whatever, if I'm going to be able to do that. I might have to close it a different way. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. And I would like literally never even notice. I'm like, do whatever you have to do. And honestly, if there's just something that's easier, I don't even give a shit. Don't even try and push it in there. Just like do it how you would do it. I don't care. And she was like, I could probably have this done by Friday. I'm like, oh my God, literally no rush. This was Monday. I'm like, that's incredible. She's like, I'll for sure have it by Friday night. She's like, do you want to come in Saturday? And the other alterations place always has me pay prior. And then that way I come in and pick it up. Well, this lady didn't have me pay. So I have no idea how much it's going to be, but whatever. Honestly, she was amazing. I don't really care how much it's going to be. She was like, come in on Saturday and you can pick it up. And like, that was it. She wrote down my name and my number. I was like, are you going to text? She's like, no, just come in. I'm like, okay, I love that. I like literally, and I was shocked because it has like a name. Like, for example, the one that I went to first is called The Girl's Name Alterations. I guess I can say it. It's called Martha's Alterations. Like, it is her store and it's like this little house. Well, this is like in a, sort of strip mall and it's called something. It's not a name. So I thought it was going to be like the other tailor alterations place I went to. The other one I was going to is called Red Carpet Tailors. It's like a big place. Or for example, our dry cleaning is Jay's Tailors, but it's like a corporate, like they have multiple locations. So it's just like always random people. There's a lot of employees. So I thought that this place was going to be like this, but it was just like the one woman there. And it's like a really small store. And the fitting room was literally like, right in front of the windows, but it's just these curtains. She's like, yep, go try it on. And you just like move these circular curtains around you and put it on and come out. And then the mirror is right there. Like, it's a really small place. And I really like that. Like, as I'm like doing these like, you know, not peculiar things, but like alterations and these like random things that I never did before, I really want like the ma and pa of it all. Like, I want to go, like, I don't want to go to some big, you know, like corporate place. Like, I want to find like these little, you know, boutique-y type of places, if that makes sense. I love that. Anywho, got those altered. You know what else happened? And I posted this on my story yesterday. I got my new Texas ID with my new last name. It's official. That's the last thing I have to do. Now, actually, what I have to do is change my name with like all of my things, my bills, my phone bill, you know, the electricity, the water, all of the things that have my name on it, which like I don't think is dire right now that I do that. Oh, I need to probably change my, with the tax, the LLC, yeah, stuff like that. But like, I have my new passport, I have my social security card, hello, social security card, I have my ID. I'm a new woman. Brenna Berg, which I made my middle name Berg. So like, it's kind of still there. Not that it really freaking matters in the first place. I said this on my story. I don't really give a shit. I'm still Brenna. I go by Brenna. You know, it's just a new way to call me, which is so funny because my husband loves it. Like, he's like so excited about it because he's precious and he's traditional. And we went to St. Bernard's, which is a clothing store, and he got some new shirts. This was on Sunday. Yes, this was on Sunday. We went to Doughbirds and then we went to St. Bernard's, which they're like right next to one another. And he bought some shirts. And the lady was like, a phone number. And he gave his, because we bought a few things there. I knew we had an account, and he gave his, and it wasn't under that. So then I gave mine, which I'm like, let's switch that, because I have his phone number memorized. He does not have mine. And I'm like, let's just like make it easy. I need to go back in there and do that. I figured the next time we go, I'll get that taken care of. But she pulled up our names and she was like, Brenna Berg and Carter. And of course he looks at me because he's like, wants me to change my last name. I'm like, it's a goddamn store. Like, oh, actually, it was Brenda. She was like, Brenda and Carter. And I'm like, no, it's Brenna, but I'm like, close enough. And she's like, Brenna Berg 21. She like said my email. And I'm like, yep. And she's like, that's interesting. Like, the email is correct, but then somebody put Brenda. She's like, must have been a typo. And I'm like, yeah. And like, she was already fixing this one thing. I wasn't going to be like, change my last name. But of course, the second we left, he was like, why didn't you change your last name? I'm like, oh my God. Because who cares? It's a store where we buy clothes. Does it matter? I'm like, the next time I go in, I'll go change my last name and I'll change the phone number to yours. That way, if he goes, he can remember the phone number and then I'll just use his phone number. Like, it's fine. Oh my gosh, I was dying. He's so funny. Because did I tell you guys that happened somewhere else too, where he was like, that's not your last name. I was like, well, babe, technically I haven't got my ID. Like, oh, it was when I bought the iPhone. I was like, well, what if, you know, they actually need my driver's license to, you know, verify my AT&T account? Like, that isn't my technical last name yet. He was like, oh, and I'm like, okay. Oh my gosh. That's pretty much it. Oh, the next thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is another thing that I thought with the partner's card maybe I should buy, which I don't know if Home Goods would be a part of it, Christmas decor. I really want to ball out for Christmas. I really do. And I know my husband will love it. And I know I will love it. Like, I really do want to be that bitch. Now that I'm being a fashionista bitch, I want to be a holiday decor person. And the reason this started is because I've been thinking about it. Trust me, I've been thinking about it. I went to Home Goods last week and I was like actually in the mood to get like fall decor, even though it's like the middle of October. Now it's like late October. I'm like, bitch, you're going to buy pumpkin decor when we have 1 week left until Halloween, which I know I wouldn't have bought a lot. And then nothing that I saw suited my fancy because all of the fall decor was already on sale because they had the Christmas decor out. And I'm like, you dumb bitch. Like, you couldn't have done this like a few weeks ago. Brenna, be nice to yourself. But you know what I mean? I'm like, ugh. This always happens to me because I like never am in the mood to buy things. And then when I am, I'm too late. I digress. I'm going to, and I need to get a head start. That way, when Thanksgiving ends, I can, boom, do the Christmas decor. If you guys know a good Christmas tree, which is my other problem, where do I put the Christmas tree? We have those little nooks next to the fireplace and like the walls, but it's almost too small. I'm like, and I hate a skinny ass Christmas tree. Like I want a big tree, but I don't know where we would put it. Yeah, I need to actually go figure that out. But I'm going to have to order stuff before because I don't want it to be like December 4th and I'm still getting Christmas stuff. It's something that I need to do like soon. So I'm like, do I do partner's card and then I get some stuff this weekend, which I don't know where I'm buying. Obviously, Home Goods. I do love Hobby Lobby. They have like really good and inexpensive stuff. I need to order stockings, which another battle that I have is like, do I put mom and dad on the stocking for like future children or do I just put our names? But then also the stupid fucking hiding the names of it all is like, I haven't said his name. And then if I post in the vlog and the name, ooh. Be honest, do you guys think I have a mental illness? Because I think I do. And not like a bad kind, but like a brain kind. Like something where like I don't think correctly. Or like I'm not an overthinker. Something that like I've never been an overthinker, not when it comes to relationships and friendships. Like I don't think about stuff like that ever. I'm never like, oh, what did I say on this date? Or like, did they take this the wrong way? Or like, oh, did I not say that? I never do that. I never do that. But it's like these weird, obscure things. It's like the spending of the money. It's like, oh, do I spend like $300 or do I then spend $200 and do this? Like, there's just these certain things that I like really overanalyze. I don't know. Okay, let's keep going. Things that I bought and got this week. The Staud boots, which are so cute. I am a member of the wide leg calf girlies and there's no gaping and I think there should be gaping, but it's fine. I walk a lot. I have big calves. Sue me. I also got, oh my gosh, my sweet husband got like some PR. If you don't know what Shop My is where I like link my things and they do giftings on there. And they reached out and they were like, we would love to send your husband shorts. And I sent him a screenshot while he was at work, but because he loves that. He's like, oh my gosh, like he thinks it's like so cool. And I sent it, he was like, yeah. So he came home and he picked out the pair of shorts that he wants. And it's through the brand 10,000 and they came in the mail and he just tried them on and they look phenomenal. So I'm really excited to see how he likes those. And, oh, this is why I wanted to speak about this, the Christmas list idea of it all, which if you want good clothes, but you want to spend a bag, I can recommend all of my husband's clothes because he likes nice stuff, but he does dress very well. If you guys have seen in my vlogs, he's always giving me fashion advice because he's good at it. And like, I don't know. I think it's because he was raised like they're always just put together. And like he was going to church like he's used to like dressing up, right? Whereas like I never dressed up, like my family just doesn't. And I feel like he just knows fashion and like he just always looks very nice and put together. That's that. Books. I finally finished The Things We Cannot Say by Kelly Rimmer. And I think I finished this the day of last podcast filming. Did I finish that? Did I tell you about that? I think I might have. I started Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn, which I haven't been able to read much because my husband's been getting home really late and then I just fall asleep, but I'm already loving it. Like I'm already in it. And I got a lot of mixed reviews. My favorite things to post on my Instagram. I'm really sad I haven't had another thing to talk about, like the maroon versus burgundy, because that was amazing. But when I post books, I get tons of responses because a lot of girls read. And this is one of those books again where I got a lot of mixed reviews. Like some people did not like it and some people really liked it. And therefore I'm excited, but I'm already in it and I already really like the fucked upness of it all. Like it's already been a little bit fricked up, which I love. Okay, coming up. Oh, this weekend. So tomorrow I have the wedding-ish, like the legality, the courthouse of it all, which I'm really excited for. I probably won't like document on my Instagram and TikTok because that's a little bit different than like speaking about it on the podcast. I also have an event. I'm going to Dillard's and Spanx is having like, they make jeans. I have a pair of leggings by Spanx that were in for a moment and now they're not. They're like not leather, but they're like that almost distressed leather looking. Do you remember when those were in and you would wear them with combat boots? I have those from Spanx, but I have nothing else. But they're having like a jean specialist in at Dillard's, and they're having this event, and I'm gonna go, and they have like, you know, of course, like sips and whatever, and then you can meet with like this jean person to like fit you. And I'm really excited, again, like the fashionista of it all. I booked an appointment. They like reached out. I'm going to go do that. I also want to stop in. Oh, because my husband's gone. So my husband is gone this weekend only for like 48 hours. And I have the car obviously in full reign to do whatever I want. I'm going to then go to the Shop Bop pop-up. I want to go to the store because they have cute stuff. I'm like really excited to see it in person. And then I think that's it. Oh, let me get to the questions. I had 2 questions, and then I'm going to wrap this up. I'm so glad I remembered. I don't know how I forget. Okay. Is moving in with one of my best friends a bad idea? Oh, this is a great question. I have known my friend since we were in elementary school, and we are now both 25 years old and still very close. Her and her boyfriend purchased a house about a year ago, and the house has a rental suite. They are thinking about renting it out, and I have been looking for a rental. The suite has a separate entrance and its own kitchen, bathroom, living space. The only shared space would be the laundry room, which is in the basement at the bottom of the stairs. They live in the main floor and upstairs of the house. So many details to essentially say we would be living fairly separately. I've heard having friends as roommates can sometimes not be ideal and can ruin friendships, but this is sort of different. To me, it seems like it would be okay, but I'd be interested in knowing your opinion because I really appreciate your outlook on situations. Thank you for your thoughts. Oh, that's really interesting. This is different. Now, if this is a person that was just like fully gonna live in a shared space with their friend, I would never, well, maybe that's not true. I would maybe discourage it because it is a little bit scary. It's just like, if you're okay with the friendship potentially ending, just because living with somebody is hard and we're all different and we all have pet peeves, and it just like, you see a person, it's like living with a partner. Like once you move in with your boyfriend, no matter how much you love them, like sometimes people live in a crazy way and are inconsiderate or are dirty or whatever. It's just hard, and it highlights those things. You would only be sharing the laundry. I feel like this could actually be a decent situation. I think, what are the questions and things you should know going into it? Okay, so are you able to, you've been friends for forever. She has a boyfriend who she like is with and moving in with. I think that this could be okay. The only shared space is the laundry room. I think just like make very clear the finances of it all, how much you're paying, when it's due, like all of those things, that it won't go up. Do you guys want to have like a contract? I know that like this is the part that makes it sticky, but it's also like you want to cover your bases, which in some ways it's like, oh no, you don't need one. But then it's like, you never know. What if they want more money in 6 months? And then like, there are just ways that living and paying somebody and, you know, kind of integrating your life like this can get messy. Nobody thinks it's going to. It's like with a boyfriend, like you never go into these situations thinking it's going to go badly, right? But like, oof, duh. I would just have a lot of conversations and like, yeah, maybe sign a year lease that way. Cause what if you don't sign a lease and you're paying and then you want to move out, you meet somebody tomorrow, or you just like want your own space. It doesn't work out and you want to save your friendship, but she's like, you can't move out. We were counting on you to pay the rent. Like I would really think about having some sort of contract in place. I know it seems weird. I know it's like not friendly, but like, it's just to save everybody's asses. Like, contracts are a good thing. It's just to like lay everything out, right? So nobody gets hurt. It's like to protect both parties. But yeah, other than that, I think I would talk about like privacy. Like, okay, can they come into your space? Obviously that would not be ideal, but like these are things, you know, some people don't have like a sense of privacy, and like, when can you come and do the laundry? Do you need to communicate that? Like, how are you paying them? What is the rent? Guests, parking, like normal things. But since you're not living together, it's not like you need to delegate like groceries and like the cleaning of it all. And like, yeah, I feel like if anything, something that would worry me is because this happened to me when I lived in the guest house and the nanny fam moved in. Like, I am a person, even though like I'm thinking if I move in with my best friend Natalie and her fiance, let's say I'm in their guest house. Not that Natalie, I feel like she likes her alone time too, but like, let's say your friend, and maybe you already know this about one another, or maybe you're both on the same wavelength, but something that I would fear with anybody is like that they're going to want me around all of the time, because this happened with like the nanny fam. Like, they would want me to come to dinner like every night. And like, sometimes I just like, it has nothing to do with other people. I'm just like a loner. And like those aspects of the friendship, that's not like make or break, but it's like, it's going to get to a place where it's like, because this always happens to me. I like have a hard time advocating for myself. And I know people think I'm like a recluse. And like, you guys, in my real life, like, I know that this is the thing. When people talk about my quirks, mine are like my communication and like my just like my need for alone time. Like with the nanny fam, like I just like need to be alone at times, right? Like, I don't want to do something, like, as much as I love a person, as much as like literally we never had any problems, like there's not one reason that I shouldn't want to be with these people or my best friend or anybody. Like, oh my gosh, speaking of, somebody commented on my night vlog last night. Like, the first comment was like, do you get lonely because my husband's working all the time? I said no. And honestly, this is an ideal situation for me, like, truly. But that's just me. But I'm just thinking, like, think about that. Like, if you know this friend's kind of like needier, but you need alone time, like, you know, you're going to have to create some boundaries there. Like, how often are we going to see each other? It is going to change the dynamic of your friendship, because maybe in the past you would always meet out to go eat, or maybe you would chill at the house, but like, how frequent and like, what's the vibes there? Like, those things are definitely going to change the friendship dynamic. But like, this is like the best case scenario living situation. I just, number one, like, I know getting a contract done is annoying. Hopefully maybe you know an attorney or can ChatGPT one, which I don't know how valid that would be, but like, or just speak and like, it's just, again, you never intend things to go badly, but like, things can happen. What if the boyfriend, he's like, I actually don't want your friend living here. And then they come to you. Like, it just could get messy. Hopefully that's not the case, but I just want you to think about that. Also, get on ChatGPT, as I talked about not talking, but like, literally go on ChatGPT right after this podcast and be like, actually give ChatGPT exactly what you just told me. Say, me and my best friend, blah, blah, blah. Maybe give them a little more context. Be like, we haven't had conflict, or we've had conflict in the past and it's been around this. I'm moving in. Here are the dynamics. Like, what are the things I need to talk about? What would you suggest I do? And I feel like ChatGPT could like break that. This is the exact scenario where I would use ChatGPT. It's like these peculiar situations. Ask it like what you should do prior to moving in. If they think it's a good idea, I feel like ChatGPT could be your best friend. Okay. And then I have one more, and then we're going to wrap this up. All right, bestie. For once, I'm not writing about a toxic situation. LOL. I finally started seeing a man who treats me well, actively plans dates, has been vouched for by people, and is a great guy from what I can tell. He makes me feel seen and safe, and I enjoy talking to him and being around him. But my problem is I'm terrified. The paranoid person in me, who's truly trying to protect her heart, is scared that it's maybe a gut feeling. But I'm also realizing the thought of fully letting someone in is scarier than I remember it being. Ha ha ha. Any tips on how to navigate learning to go slow and let him in when I'm so used to toxic men and love bombing and manipulation? I did tell him I'm scared as well, so he's aware, but any input would be so helpful. Please never stop yapping with us. This podcast gets me through long runs and running errands every week. I love you guys. Okay, number one, the fact that you brought it up to him and told him that you're scared, I feel like says a lot. Like, but the fact that you brought this up to him already, like, shows me that you guys are like having good conversation and you've been vulnerable and all of that. Wonderful. I mean, I can't really this is something I've never struggled with myself. Like when I date, I go all in. Like if I like somebody, I've never really, even with the toxic men, it like always works itself out. I think if he's great, like you just have to go head first. Like if he turns out to be horrible, he turns out to be horrible. But like, and that's the thing, I'll never understand and I get it. It's not like an active choice you're making. It kind of is, but it isn't. I get that. But sometimes I used to get questions about like, I don't want to go, I don't want to move too fast and like, what if, but it's like, you already obviously very much like him. There's a lot of great qualities. Like you're gonna get hurt regardless if it doesn't go well. And I'm not going to say and I'm not saying that it won't go well, but you know what I mean? I think, take it as slow as you want. Move at your pace. Like if you only want to go on a date or two a week, like I don't even really know what taking it slow means. That's the only thing I can think of. And that's the other thing I always like question when people say take it slow. I'm like, okay, or just like not getting intimate. That's fine. Like go at your own pace. But like you obviously like him and things are going well and there's nothing bad so far, I say just like go for it. Again, like even with the best of people, like it could not work out. So like there's going to be hurt regardless potentially, or this is like the love of your life. But like any relationship is going to end like this. Toxic, not toxic. Like if it's good, why would you not just like go head first? I don't know, because like that's all my relationships, my serious relationships, like they were all good. They just like ended because of compatibility issues. And then with the toxic men, I did the whole situationship a few times and like it is what it is. It all ended how it's going to end. The protecting of your heart, I get it. I get what you're saying, but like, how do you do that? You're already dating. You like him. Like your heart is already in it. Right? Like unless you were to completely like go AWOL and like break up with him even though nothing's wrong, like that would be like extreme. But I say just move at your own pace, go on a few dates, like take your time being intimate, but like it's all going to shake out how it's going to shake out. I don't think all points have proven that he makes you feel seen and heard and safe and you like being around him and everybody vouches for him and he plans dates. Like it's sounding like it's going well. The paranoid person who's trying to protect my heart, maybe it's a good feeling. I think that you're never going to know the future. There's no way to predict if a man's going to fuck up or do something, or like, I get there's like trauma there because of past relationships, but the only way through it is going through it. Right? Like, what's the other option? Breaking up with him because you think something could go wrong. Something could go wrong in any relationship. You know what I mean? I'm all for it. I love it. I'm glad that you're finally in a good relationship and he's treating you well and doing all of the things. That's amazing. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And then there's somebody else for you and that's how it was supposed to go. Right? Okay. I love you guys so much. I hope that was helpful. I know it was like a little bit cliche, but like those are my real thoughts and feelings. I think do what your heart tells you to do. Obviously, don't just like listen to me, but I think move at your own pace and it'll all work out how it's supposed to. But I'm so excited for you. And I'm so glad, even if he's not the one, like once you find like, you break up because of a compatibility issue, like once a man treats you well, it's a game changer because you're like, oh, this is what it's like you're finally experiencing that. And even if he's not the one, you're learning how to be treated and what you need and what you should expect. And like, that is amazing. And you're learning more about yourself and it brings out these things. And like, you're learning how to deal with like your paranoia and like trusting someone. And like, that's what it's all about truly. But anyways, you guys have the best weekend. Be safe. Have fun. I hope it's wonderful. And I will see you guys on Monday. Okay. Bye guys.